Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan, and what I'd like to do today is introduce y'all to some tips and tricks on how to write a car wash and car detail business plan as well as its financial projections. So in this video, I'm going to kind of walk you all through a little PowerPoint presentation that I've got concocted for you. And in the presentation, I'm going to touch on about 4 or 5 tips on various aspects of the business plan, how it pertains to the car wash and car detail business. All right, so without further ado, let's zip on through this little PowerPoint presentation. And first and foremost, before I get into talking about the car wash and car detail business plan, let me give you all a little bit about me. Once we're done talking about me, then we can talk about you and your car wash and car detail business plan needs. So first and foremost, I am a professional writer, specifically a business plan writer. If you want to avoid the trials and tribulations of fun and excitement of writing your own business plan, please don't hesitate to pick up the phone and give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. Be absolutely delighted to assist. If you do want to go ahead and go down this, follow the yellow brick road, down the writing of your own business plan, at least have some kind of a guide. And the guide that I'm talking about is through a book or some kind of a template. One of my many business plan books can be found on Amazon. So zip on over there, pick up one of my business plan writing books off of Amazon. And then finally, my educational background, I am an adjunct professor and subject matter expert for both business and finance. So I love to write, but my specialty or superpower, if you will, is financial modeling and financial projections. Love them numbers. So if you do want to write your own business plan, sweet scrimdiddlyumps, just knock yourself out. But if you want some financial projections that are going to make sense, and I'm not just talking about putting numbers up there and not explaining them, I kind of walk people through on how these financial projections come about. So if you want some professionally done financial projections, again, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text. Be delighted to assist. All right, enough about me. Let's go ahead and talk about your car wash and car detail business plan needs. Tip number 1, the company description. Most organizations, including car wash and car detail businesses, what they like to do is they're really good with describing the products that they're going to offer, the services they're going to offer, and how the business is going to run. If it's a car wash established, then it's going to be self-propelled, and it's going to have 4 or 5 different functions, services, and you have touch, no touch washes, etc. If it's a car detailing business, then it might be a mobile, or you might have one centralized location where people come over, maybe to a house, maybe to some office space, to drop off the car. You take care of the services, yourself. So most businesses, they're really good with identifying their services and describing them. However, from my experience, a great way to start off your business plan company description is a little bit about you and a little bit about your history. I'm not saying give me 7 to 10 page biography or autobiography of what you've done and how you've gotten to this point in your life, but more just share a paragraph or two about your passions. What got you into car detailing? Why do you want to start a car wash? Expand upon your thoughts and ideas and your motivations behind that. Not only is that great to remind you as to why you started this, because you are going to have trials and tribulations as you go through the entrepreneurial process, but it's also going to help the reader get some insights about your passions and your drive and why you are going to be in this for the long haul. Next, when you do your company description, also maybe touch on some services, some niche services. Yes, you do the standard car wash, or yes, you do the standard detail, but is there something that's going to set you apart, set you above, or differentiate you from your competitors? Are you going to use eco-friendly products? Do you have a mobile or a brick and mortar, car wash? And if it's mobile, what are some of the service areas? So just identify a niche, 1 or 2. Don't get bananas with your niche, but just 1 or 2 niches would be fantastic. And again, include that in your company description. All right, next is going to be industry research. When I work with some clients for car detailing or car washes, what they inevitably are going to do is they're going to talk about competitors. They're going to talk about how far competitors are from their location. They're going to talk about their different products or services and why theirs are better or different. And then they might talk about the need for a car wash in the area because there's no car washes in that area. And that's good, sound market research. But what's missing is a foundation showing that you are an industry expert. People are going to take advice, or people are going to listen to someone that they perceive as an expert. In order to achieve this expert status in the business plan, from my most humble of opinions, an excellent way to do that is through your industry research, specifically from a national level perspective. Show in your business plan some statistics, some facts, some figures of what's going on in the car wash and the car detailing industry. When you are able to show that you are up to date on the current trends, and a great way to do that is, again, statistics. For example, I've done a little bit of research, and right now the car wash and car detail industry in the last 12 months has generated about approximately $10 billion in revenues. Profits for this industry are approximately $1 billion, and the profit margin is approximately 9.5%. That profit margin right there is a red flag to me. That tells me that, wow, this is well above most industries and most companies. This profit margin is really good. So that's one thing that you can really drill down on is, yes, there might be some competition here, but the profit margins are above average, and it might justify why an additional competitor in the marketplace is necessitated. So not only are you showing that you are an expert in this industry by providing this industry research, but you are expanding upon that industry research, showing why, a justification for your business. Also, once you have that industry research done and you've solidified that you are an expert in the industry, then what you can do is you can start comparing some trends in the industry with what your competitors are doing or not doing. And when you do that, you are now going to be able to show gaps in the marketplace. This competitor, ABC, they are doing X wash and B wash and Z wash, but right now the industry trend is a Z wash, and that is what we are going to be providing. So not only is it an industry trend, but there's a gap in the marketplace. You're now making a stronger case for your organization. All right, next is going to be advertising. What a wonderful opportunity social media presents car wash and car detail companies to use that mode of advertising. Specifically, before and after pictures. Everybody loves before and after pictures. When you're doing your cars, people are going to be in their cars 2 or 3 or 4 times a day. They're going to walk out to their car and they're going to see a dirty car. When they start seeing social media posts of clean cars and dirty cars, they're going to start thinking, my car is dirty. And the longer it takes them to wash it, the dirtier their car is going to get. The more it's going to remind them, especially if you're continually posting on social media, dirty cars and clean cars, it's going to eventually jog them into the point where, they're going to pick up the phone, give you a call, send you a text, send you a message, or just drop by your location to get service for their car wash. So advertising tip number 3, definitely utilize your social media. However, also don't have your eggs all in one basket. Don't just do your social media. And a lot of car washing companies, a lot of car detail companies, they're going towards just relying on social media. You're going to live and die on that, and that's not necessary. Expand your horizons when you're doing your advertising. So in my opinion, yes, do the social media, but also do your website. When people are going to the web, they're going to be Googling, which companies are close to them, and eventually they might stumble upon your Facebook page. They're not going to stumble upon your Instagram, though. But a better opportunity is going to be to have a website generated for your car wash, and on that website, make sure to discuss some specials. Are you running some specials, Monday specials or, seasonal specials? Also talk about your niche services. In your business plan, you're going to touch on their niche services. Why not extrapolate that information from your business plan and put it on your website? Another final advertising opportunity is going to be the word of mouth advertising. When you're done with a client's car or truck, ask them to, tell a friend. Those few words right there. Tell a friend. Was it tell a friend? Three words. Those 3 words are a great way to set the foundation to start building word of mouth advertising. Tell a friend. Tell a coworker. Tell somebody. Tell anybody. But make sure to push that. All right, next is going to be a funding request. Every business that's ever been started, that will ever be started, it's been started with some kind of funding, whether it's 50 cents to go down and, buy a pencil and paper to do some tutoring, or it's, $7 for a bucket, a sponge, and a nozzle for a hose. Or it could be as expensive as, $500,000 to go ahead and buy a self-propelled car wash that is already in operations with loyal customers. So regardless of what your funding needs are going to be, make sure you document them in a funding request. The way that I'd like to structure my funding requests are pretty specific, and if you follow this, it's going to show decisiveness, but it's also give you a little bit of wiggle room in case some of your costs change. So when I write my funding request, I always start off with specifically stating to the penny how much money I need to invest in order to get this party started. So if I'm going to start a car washing business and it's going to cost $500,000, my first line of the funding request is going to state explicitly, in order to start this car washing venture, I will need funding of $500,000 is needed. When you give them a specific dollar amount, it shows decisiveness. It shows you've done your research and you know how much money you're going to need. If you give a range, or if you give, between kind of a deal of $750,000 to $850,000, that shows wishy-washiness. That shows you have no idea how much money you need. And then the investor is going to start thinking, well, if they give you money, are you going to be coming back for more? So you want to eliminate all that perceived risk up front by the first sentence of your funding request stating to the dollar exactly how much money you need. Now, here's where you're going to get a little bit of wiggle room. When you state that dollar amount specifically, in the body of your funding request, go ahead and break out how you're going to invest the funds received into categories. For example, the purchase price of the car wash facility might be $250,000. Money to invest in advertising might be $25,000. Working capital might be $25,000. You might need another $50,000 for labor and hiring and training and such. So when you start breaking it into these categories, you now have wiggle room, because if the purchase price increases or decreases, you now have some room to move around in your budgeted amount. And now if the purchase price is $250,000, I might go with $260,000 in the budget, and then explain that a 10% increase in case of additional cost or something. But you want to go ahead and give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, and you don't want to break it down to machine A, machine B, machine C, and then give prices of each one of the machines, because these prices are going to change. Stick with the budgets, stick with the categories, but be specific upstairs on the first line of your funding request, and also be specific when you total the categories. So once you're done with identifying all the categories that you're going to need for your funding request, make sure to put a grand total at the bottom, and that grand total should be the exact dollar amount that you identified on your top line funding request. All right, tip number 5, financial projections. Most people that I work with, they start a business because they want to make a little bit of money. And of course, there are a lot of organizations that are going for social enterprises where, yes, you're going to make some money, but you're pushing some social causes. But for the most part, businesses still nowadays, what they're doing is they're starting businesses to make money. In order to know how much money you're going to make and how many sales you need to make in order to make that money, you need some kind of a financial model. A lot of planes going off today. All right, so for the financial model, the way that I would structure this for a car detailing or a car wash business would be to start by identifying what is your average price that you're going to charge for a car detail or a car wash. In this particular example, it's going to be $175. And then underneath that, if you're going to charge some extra services, what is the average price of the extra services? I've identified it as, for this hypothetical situation, $75. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to identify the variable cost. How much is it going to cost you in material, in soap, in Armor All, or in whatever you're going to spend money on in order to do an excellent job for detailing. For this particular example, I'm going to say for each car detailed, the variable costs are going to be approximately $10. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to back out the variable cost of $10 from the $175 average purchase price, which is going to give you a gross profit of $165. The next thing you need to do is identify how many customers are you going to take care of a day. Are you going to do an average 5 a day, or are you going to do 3 a day? Whatever that is, put it right here. And then identify how many extra services you're probably going to be providing a day as well. Once you're done with that, you're going to multiply your gross profit by the number of items or the number of customer service. That's going to give you your total gross profit. For this example, $825. What you're then going to do is add the extra services to it. And once you're done with that, it's going to give you a gross profit, total gross profit of $695. The final step in this first category is then going to be multiply how many days you're going to be working on average a month. For most people, it's going to be 5 days. 5 times 4 is going to give you about 20 days a month. If you're a car wash and you're going to be operating 7 days a week, then put 30 days right here. Once you identify the days worked in the month, multiply that number by your total gross profits. And voila, in this example, it's going to give us $19,300 for total monthly gross profits. Once we identify the revenues, the gross profits for the month, we're then going to zip on down here and take a look at our monthly fixed cost. For this hypothetical situation, our monthly costs are going to be a loan $750, inventory $1,500, labor $1,500, space rental $450, marketing $2,000, and then the wonderful, wonderful catch-all miscellaneous. There is no way, especially if you've yet to start this car wash, car detailing business, you're going to be able to identify what your fixed costs are going to be. So a great way to catch, or just have a rainy day fund, if you will, is to use and include a miscellaneous budget. In this example, it is $500. Once you're done identifying your monthly fixed cost, total it up. In this example, $6,950. Now that we know what our gross profits are going to be, and we know what the monthly costs are going to be, now we're going to go ahead and calculate our monthly profits in the third section of this nice little financial projection. So in order to do that, we are going to pull down our monthly gross profits right here, $19,300. From here, it goes right to there. Then we're going to pull in our monthly costs, $6,950. We're going to stick it underneath there. And then finally, we are going to subtract $6,950 from $19,300, gives us a net profit of $12,350. So what this means to us is that if we service 5 customers a day on an average price of $175 a customer, and we are able to generate 2 additional services at an average price of $75, and we work 20 days a week, we are going to, and we're able to maintain our fixed costs, we are going to have profits of $12,350. Not too shabby. And here's the wonderful thing. As your organization grows, you can start manipulating these numbers and see how they're going to impact your profits. An example of this would be if you hire somebody. Instead of labor in $1,500, it's going to be $3,000. Instead of 5, you're going to be able to take care of 12 customers. Make those changes and see what happens to your net profits. If it goes up, 2 thumbs up. If it goes down, then you might want to hold off on hiring somebody, or take a look at your business models and how you can change those to exploit that opportunity. All right, so that is tip number 5. All right, so let's go ahead and summarize this. In summary, when you're writing your business plan for the car wash and car detail industry, follow a proven format. Go over to SBA and get one of their templates. They got some great templates on there. Go to Amazon and pick up one of my books. I've got some tips and tricks on how to write a business plan there. Have some kind of a format, some kind of a process that's going to help you in achieving your business plan. If you just open up a Word document and you're looking at that white page, you could be looking at that white page for a long, long, long time. A better strategy, use a format. Get some help, do something, but don't just start with a blank page. Next, keep the star of the show as the business. Some companies, excuse me, you might have been doing, I'm sorry, you might have been, doing car detailing for the last 20 years, and you've got significant experience, and you've got a great niche, and you do all these wonderful things, but don't make the business plan about you. Make the business plan about the business. Describe the business, interiors of the business, external aspects of the business, the strength, the weaknesses, the opportunities, the threats of the business. Talk about the business. Yes, you are a component of the business, and you are going to be touched on in some of the aspects of the business plan, but don't make it all about you. Just make sure there's a clear differentiation between the business and yourself. And finally, if you need some help with the business plan, please don't hesitate to pick up phone, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. I would be delighted to assist you with writing up a business plan, doing up the financial projections, or even I do make templates for organizations, for industries as well. I have not completed the template for car detailing and car washing business yet. It is on my list though. But that is soon to come. If you would like me to see if I can move that up on my list, send me a message and let me see what I can do to help. If y'all would like some more detailed information on how to write a car wash and car detailing business plan, zip on over to my website, qualitybusinessplan.com/how to write a car and detailing business plan. And on this site, I do offer some more tips and tricks on how to write the various sections of a business plan. And then finally, if you do want a template for this industry, like I said, it's on my list to have it generated. If you want to see if it's already been written, zip on over to qualitybusinessplan.com/business plan templates, and just scroll down and see if I've got the car wash, car detail business plan template up for you. If it's not, send me a message and let me tell you, what my time frame is for completing it. All right, so hopefully this video was helpful, gave you some insights on how to write your business plan for your car wash, car detailing business. And as always, if the video was good, give me a thumbs up on YouTube, and have a fantastic day. Thank you.